The Old West is often remembered for its gunslinging outlaws, rugged landscapes, and relentless frontier spirit. But beneath the dust and bravado lies a darker, more mysterious side of history, a world where the unexplained lurked in every shadow, and campfire tales took on a life of their own. From ghostly apparitions in abandoned mining towns to bizarre encounters that defy logic, the Wild West was as much a land of superstition as it was of adventure. Saddle up as we journey into the eerie unknown with 9 supernatural stories of the Old West, where legends meet the inexplicable and the frontier's most chilling secrets are revealed.
Skinwalker Ranch. Some legends are perfect for sharing around a campfire, offering a blend of excitement and mystery. Others, however, are deeply rooted in cultural belief and are approached with a level of reverence and caution that makes even casual discussion a sensitive matter. Among these, the Navajo legend of the Skinwalker, a shape-shifting witch, stands out as a particularly poignant example. The Skinwalker is a figure so embedded in Navajo tradition that discussing it lightly or without due respect is considered highly inappropriate. One notable location associated with this legend is in Uinta County, Utah. In 1994, when Terry and Gwen Sherman purchased a property that would come to be known as Skinwalker Ranch, they reportedly encountered a series of unsettling events. These included mysterious cattle mutilations, sightings of unusually large and seemingly impervious wolves, and unexplained phenomena such as UFOs and poltergeist activity. The Shermans experienced these disturbances over the course of 2 years before deciding to sell the ranch. While the modern association of Skinwalker Ranch with these paranormal occurrences is relatively recent, the legend of the Skinwalker itself has been a part of regional folklore for centuries. It's important to note, however, that the nearby area of Bottle Hollow, where similar supernatural encounters have been reported, falls within the territory of the Ute tribe rather than the Navajo. This distinction underscores the complex interplay of cultural beliefs and legends across different Native American communities. The stories associated with Skinwalker Ranch and its surrounding areas reflect a rich tapestry of folklore and cultural significance. They highlight how legends can transcend time and geography, becoming emblematic of broader themes within indigenous traditions. As we journey through these 10 supernatural tales from the Old West, it's clear that the frontier was more than just a land of opportunity and hardship. It was also a realm where the unexplained and eerie thrived. From haunted ghost towns to spectral outlaws, the Old West is rich with legends that continue to captivate our imagination. These stories remind us that even on the American frontier, the boundaries between the known and the unknown were as blurred as the dusty horizon. The ghosts of the past may be long gone, but their stories still linger, whispering across the ages. Ghost of Jesse James. It's no surprise that one of America's most notorious outlaws, Jesse James, is surrounded by numerous legends that extend beyond his life as a criminal. The Jesse James Farm in Kearney, Missouri, holds a significant place in these stories, as it was not only where James met his end in 1882 at the hands of fellow gang member Robert Ford, but also where his spirit is said to linger. Visitors to the farm report hearing the eerie sounds of footsteps and horse hooves, even when no one is around. Shadows are seen moving across the property, seemingly without triggering any security alarms. Some have even claimed to hear the sound of a gunshot echoing through the house, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Interestingly, the James family themselves believed their home was haunted long before Jesse's criminal career began. They reported sightings of ghostly Civil War soldiers on the property, suggesting that the land had a history of supernatural activity. However, these occurrences appeared to become more frequent and intense following Jesse James's death. The farm's haunted reputation seems to reflect the turbulent history of the era, with the Civil War and the outlaw lifestyle both leaving their marks on the land. Jesse James's story, woven with elements of tragedy and mystery, continues to captivate those who visit the farm, where the line between history and legend blurs in the Missouri countryside. Ghosts of Tombstone, Arizona. The town of Tombstone, Arizona lives up to its evocative name, with a history filled with dramatic events, though perhaps none as poignant as the unfortunate passing of Fred White in 1880. White, who served as the town's marshal, tragically lost his life in an accidental shooting involving Curly Bill Brocious, a member of the infamous Clanton gang. While the incident was unintended, it underscored the tension in a town known for its rough-and-tumble atmosphere. Though the incident lacked the drama of a classic cowboy standoff, local lore suggests that Fred White's presence lingers in Tombstone. The marshal's spectral figure, often described as wearing a black coat, is said to appear on the town's streets, a reminder of the days when law and order were hard-won. Tombstone, which has evolved into a popular tourist destination, preserves not just its historical buildings, but also these stories of lingering spirits. White's ghost is not the only one said to haunt Tombstone. The spirit of a woman in a white dress is also frequently reported, adding a sense of mystery to the town's already storied past. Additionally, there are tales of spirits connected to the Bisbee Massacre, an event that followed a failed robbery attempt and left a lasting mark on the area's history. Tombstone's past is indeed steeped in tales of lawlessness and conflict, so it is not surprising that stories of hauntings have become a part of its identity. These ghostly legends are interwoven with the town's reputation, reflecting both the historical reality and the folklore that have shaped Tombstone's enduring allure. Headless Valley. When we think of the Wild West, our minds often turn to the iconic landscapes of the American Southwest, immortalized in countless Western films. However, the western regions of Canada also boast a rich history and breathtaking scenery, often overlooked in popular culture. These areas are steeped in legends and mysteries, especially during the Yukon Gold Rush of the 19th and 20th centuries, when many prospectors ventured into the untamed wilderness with dreams of striking it rich. The Nahanni River Valley, located in Canada's Northwest Territories, is particularly infamous for its eerie tales and unexplained phenomena. This remote and rugged area became a focal point of intrigue, where stories of encounters with mysterious creatures and unexplained disappearances abound. Some legends speak of encounters with towering beings resembling giants, while others tell of cryptid-like creatures resembling dire wolves. While the Nahanni Valley's reputation for paranormal activity predates the gold rush, it was during this period that the most unsettling events were reported. Prospectors flocked to the area, drawn by the promise of gold, but not all of them returned. Numerous disappearances and unexplained deaths were documented, adding to the valley's ominous allure. Among the most famous cases were those of the McLeod brothers, Willie and Frank, who were experienced prospectors searching for fortune in the valley. The brothers' story took a tragic turn when their remains were discovered under mysterious circumstances after they had allegedly found a promising gold prospect. Although the details surrounding their deaths remain shrouded in mystery, their fate contributed to the Nahanni Valley's reputation as a place where fortune and danger walked hand in hand. These stories serve as a reminder of the perilous nature of the gold rush era, where the pursuit of wealth often came with unforeseen risks. The Nahanni Valley, with its untamed wilderness and rich folklore, stands as a testament to the enduring mysteries of the northern frontier, where history and legend are inextricably linked. The Ghost Train of Marshall Pass. From the eerie tales of Abraham Lincoln's spectral funeral train in Illinois to the phantom locomotives said to haunt Louisiana's railways, ghost trains have long been a fixture in American folklore. The advent of the steam train dramatically transformed the American landscape, and the Wild West in particular became fertile ground for such supernatural stories. Among these, one of the most notorious ghost train sightings occurred in the 1880s near Marshall Pass, Colorado, a crucial stretch of track that connected Denver to Santa Fe. The incident involved engineer Nelson Edwards, who was navigating his locomotive along the treacherous, icy tracks of Colorado. As he pressed onward through the cold night, Edwards suddenly became aware of another train behind him, seemingly speeding out of control and closing in fast. The sound of the phantom train grew louder, its rumbling echoing through the mountains, and Edwards was gripped with fear at the thought of an impending collision. A warning light blinked urgently in his cabin, signaling that he needed to brake immediately. Trusting his instincts and the ominous signs before him, Edwards reluctantly pulled the lever, bringing his train to a halt. Yet to his astonishment, no crash followed. There was no other train in sight. The tracks behind him were empty, and his locomotive remained unharmed. The mystery deepened the next day, when Edwards received a cryptic note recounting the tragic tale of a train that had derailed in that very spot years earlier, resulting in a deadly crash. The chilling realization that he may have encountered the ghost of that ill-fated train proved too much for Edwards. Shaken by the experience, he made the fateful decision to retire from his position, leaving behind the railroad and its haunted tracks. This story of the Marshall Pass ghost train reflects the deep anxieties of an era when rail travel was both a symbol of progress and a source of fear. Nelson Edwards' encounter is one such tale, a reminder that the iron rails of the frontier carried more than just passengers. They also bore the weight of the unknown. The Bandit of 6 Mile Canyon. With a name as striking as Big Jack Davis, it's no surprise that this Nevada outlaw's story is steeped in legend. During the 1860s, Davis made a name for himself as a notorious train and stagecoach robber, skillfully eluding capture as he amassed his ill-gotten gains. However, his criminal career came to a violent end when a botched robbery led to his death, shot in the back while trying to make his escape. Though Davis was gone, the legend of his hidden fortune, buried somewhere in the vast Nevada wilderness, began to take on a life of its own, becoming even more famous than the man himself. But Big Jack Davis's story doesn't end with his death. Unlike most spirits that manifest as ghostly apparitions, Davis is said to have transformed into something far more terrifying after his demise. According to local lore, Davis became a shrieking white demon, a supernatural entity that was both feared and respected. The tale goes that after being shot, wings sprouted from the bullet holes in his back, giving him a fearsome, otherworldly appearance. This winged demon wasn't just a spectral figure. He was believed to actively guard the fortune he left behind. Legend has it that Davis would chase away anyone brave or foolish enough to try and locate his hidden treasure. His terrifying cries and sudden appearances were said to send treasure hunters fleeing in terror, leaving his hoard untouched and his posthumous reputation as a fearsome guardian firmly intact. Garnet Ghost Town. The term ghost town often conjures up images of deserted places, abandoned to time and the elements, with no actual ghosts in sight. However, not all ghost towns are devoid of spectral inhabitants. Garnet, a former boom town located in western Montana, stands as an exception to this assumption. Unlike many of its counterparts, Garnet is not only physically preserved, but also rumored to be spiritually active, with several of its old buildings said to be haunted by restless souls. One of the most infamous locations within Garnet is Kelly's Saloon, where visitors have reported hearing the lively sounds of music and laughter, despite the complete absence of any living patrons. The saloon, once a hub of activity during the town's heyday, now serves as a mysterious reminder of the past, with these ghostly echoes suggesting that the revelry of the gold rush era has not entirely faded away. Another hotspot for paranormal activity in Garnet is the Wells Hotel. Here, reports of eerie, disembodied footsteps, unexplained door slams, and ghostly laughter are common. The hotel, which once provided shelter and comfort to weary miners and travelers, now seems to host visitors of a different kind. Spirits who continue to roam its halls, perhaps unwilling to leave the only home they ever knew. Garnet's rise began in 1865, following the discovery of gold at nearby First Chance Gulch. The promise of wealth drew many to the area, and the town quickly grew in size and significance. However, as with many boomtowns, Garnet's prosperity was short-lived. By 1905, the gold had all but dried up, and the town's population dwindled to less than 100 residents. Eventually, the last few remaining people left, and Garnet was abandoned. Yet even as the living moved on, stories of Garnet's ghostly residents persisted. Today, the town remains a well-preserved relic of the past, where the echoes of its bustling, golden days are said to still resonate through the quiet, empty streets, carried on the winds of history and through the whispers of those who refuse to rest. The Platte River Death Ship. When we think of haunted ships, our minds often drift to ghostly vessels navigating the open seas. But there's a chilling tale that defies expectations, anchored deep in the heart of the land, Locke State of Wyoming. Yes, even far from the ocean's reach, the legend of a haunted ship has managed to set sail. This one on the waters of the Platte River. The eerie phenomenon known as the Platte River Death Ship isn't some ghostly schooner inexplicably drifting through the state's arid plains. Instead, it adheres to a watery path, making its spectral journey along the Platte River. The tale of the Platte River Death Ship is shrouded in mystery and foreboding. It is said to appear once every 25 years, always to a solitary, unfortunate witness. But this apparition is no mere phantom ship gliding silently across the river's surface. According to the legend, those who encounter this spectral vessel are confronted with a terrifying vision. Among the ghostly crew aboard, they see the lifeless body of someone they know, eerily displayed as if part of the ship's doomed company. The sighting of this macabre vision is more than just a harrowing experience. It is believed to be a grim omen. Soon after the ship's appearance, the person seen among the ghostly sailors is said to meet their death in the real world. This sinister connection between the death ship and mortal fate was first recorded in 1862 when a trapper named Leon Weber claimed to have seen the apparition. As the story goes, Weber watched in horror as the ship emerged from a thick fog, revealing the lifeless form of his fiancée among the ghostly crew. Tragically, the legend holds that she died on the very day Weber witnessed the haunting sight. The Platte River Death Ship has since become an enduring piece of Wyoming folklore, a ghost story that defies the usual boundaries of haunted tales, bringing the maritime supernatural into the American West. Its rare appearances, coupled with the deadly consequences it foretells, have solidified its place as one of the most unsettling legends in the region, serving as a reminder that the Old West holds secrets far stranger than fiction. The Haunted Bullock Hotel. The HBO series Deadwood draws its inspiration from a real town of the same name, nestled in the Black Hills of South Dakota. This town, which sprang to life during the gold rush of the late 1800s, was a rough and tumble place, where fortunes were made and lost in the blink of an eye. Among the notable figures who called Deadwood home was Seth Bullock, a hardware store owner who would eventually take on the role of sheriff, becoming a key player in the town's law enforcement during its most chaotic days. But the legend of Seth Bullock doesn't end with his death. According to local lore, Bullock's spirit never truly left Deadwood. The Bullock Hotel, which he established in the late 19th century, is said to be the focal point of his lingering presence. This historic hotel, which still stands today, has become synonymous with stories of paranormal activity, with many believing that Bullock himself is responsible for the unexplained events that occur within its walls. What makes Bullock's ghost particularly intriguing is the nature of his hauntings. Far from being a malevolent spirit, Bullock is described as more of a guardian, keeping watch over the hotel and its guests. His presence is often marked by playful poltergeist activity, chairs that move on their own, doors that slam shut without cause, and objects that mysteriously topple over. Yet these pranks are harmless, almost as if Bullock is simply reminding everyone that he's still around. One of the most compelling tales involves a young boy who became lost in the hotel. According to the story, the child was inexplicably guided back to his parents' room by an unseen force. When the grateful parents asked their son who had helped him, the boy pointed to a portrait of Seth Bullock, suggesting that the former sheriff had come to the rescue from beyond the grave. This account, while unverified, has only added to the mystique surrounding the Bullock Hotel and the enduring legend of its namesake.
Please like and share if you find the video content interesting and useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and comment below so as not to miss the upcoming interesting videos. Thanks for watching.